Presented by Kay Jewelers.
Seventeenth-ranked Texas A&M and all of their firepower have stormed into Iowa State. In contrast to today's perfect weather conditions, Ryan Tannehill and Cyrus Gray lead a whirlwind Aggie offense up against the upset-minded Cyclones, who are known to steal a win when you least expect it. And we've come to expect the unexpected in the Big 12. Fans representing their team several states north, and they are here at Jack Trice Stadium in Ames. The head coach for the Aggies, Mike Sherman, in his 4th season, and his program really rounding into form. And then with a 4-2 record, 2-1 in conference play for the team ranked 17th. The BCS standings. And head coach Paul Rhodes, he's from just down the road in Ankeny, Iowa, in his 3rd season. Cyclones won their first 3 games of the year, dropped 3 in a row, so they look to snap that 3-game losing streak here on this homecoming Saturday. Well, the Cyclones won the toss. They have elected to receive. Aggies in the white with the maroon pants, and the Cyclones in the cardinal with the gold pants. And Randy Bullock kicks it into the end zone for a touchback. So the Cyclones will begin at their own 20. And the quarterback, and there was a little question as to who would start this game for Iowa State. But it is their transfer junior, Steele Jantz.
And Jantz is an exciting guy. He's looking at him on tape, a Houdini type back there when he starts to scramble around. But when he doesn't have that asset and he has a sore foot, I think he's about average, and so they're going to need him to be able to move around, keep plays alive, extend plays in order to move the football today.
James White in the backfield with Jantz. Fakes the handoff, the throw off the hands of Lentz and picked off. Trent Hunter still on his feet to the 15, down at the 14-yard line. And on the first play of the game, the Aggies get just their 5th takeaway of the season.
And this is becoming a bad habit for Steele Jantz, as he threw 3 interceptions in a previous first quarter game against Baylor, and then he did it again another time with 2 early interceptions. This one, just an unfortunate thing, as Lentz, the ball was right to him. He just tipped it up in the air. And how about some good fortune for the Aggies? And you need good fortune to get turnovers. They haven't had a whole lot.
Well, Trent Hunter with his 2nd interception of the season, and the Aggies and Ryan Tannehill take over just 9 seconds into the game. Starting inside the 15-yard line, the pitch, Christian Michael running left, gets a block from Lamoth, and is down to the 10-yard line. Picks up about 4. Matt Tafao with the stop. And quarterback Ryan Tannehill, the senior from Big Spring, Texas, really opening eyes with his play this year.
Yeah, he's really gotten better every time out. This is his 13th start as a quarterback, so I guess you would figure that this would be his bowl game of his freshman year, if you want to do the math that way.
Hands it off, Michael straight ahead, spins down to the 8-yard line. A.J. Klein, part of a very good linebacking core for the Cyclones, makes the stop.
Texas A&M has been very good in the red zone this year. You see those numbers there, 21 touchdowns, 28 out of 29 putting points on the board. And they face a big 3rd down here. This is huge for the Cyclones to make them kick the field goal. That's a victory for you when you're on defense and you get a turnover this deep in your own territory.
3rd and 4, the Aggies need to get to the 4 for the first down. Tannehill hands it off, and Michael will not get there. So an early stand by the Cyclone defense after the turnover.
Jake Klein was the guy who really kind of blew this thing up, didn't make the tackle, but he takes out the interference. See the blitzer on top, hits into the fullback. That opens it up for everybody else, peeling over the top and filling into that hole.
So from just inside the left hash, 25-yard attempt for Randy Bullock out of the hold of Tannehill. Just sneaks it in that left upright, so Bullock now 12 of 13 in field goal attempts on the season. Paul Rhodes happy that his defense only gives up 3.
Chance, but you look at it and the way he started ball games this year, 7 out of his 9 interceptions have come in the first quarter, and that's not how you want to start a football game. And that one was a tip ball. Those are hard. You just, those are tough breaks.
And 10 touchdown passes, now 9 interceptions on the season for Jance, who won the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week honor after their 3 overtime win earlier in the season against the in-state rival Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, I think he deserved it. He played a whale of a game in that game.
Had 4 touchdown passes, looks to throw. The wounded duck is incomplete at the 23-yard line. That ball was tipped. Let's take a look at today's Impact Players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Well, the #1 guy for this Cyclone offense is Darius Reynolds. He's their deep threat. He's their best skill player. Then they have James White taking over at the tailback position, and he's a little guy, 5'8". He gets lost in the shuffle sometimes, and then he's very sudden because he has explosiveness.
That is White in the backfield. He gets the carry and gets back near the line of scrimmage. Tackled there by Porter, who is our other Impact Player on the other side of the football.
Leading sacker for this Aggie defense, and according to the coaches, playing the best out of anybody for Texas A&M.
Junior outside linebacker from Schertz, Texas, just outside San Antonio, Sean Porter. So a 3rd and 10 for the Cyclones. 2 receivers to each side in that ace formation, and Jance rolling right, throws across the middle, and incomplete off the hands of Reynolds, who had he hung on, had enough for the first down, but Lionel Smith, the cornerback, was there on the coverage.
Yeah, give Smith the credit for making up ground at the end. Jance doesn't like his initial read, so he's going to move, and he's best on the move, and he put a little heat on that thing, but it's hard to throw across the middle late. The defender has the advantage, and they came up with it with Smith knocking that one away.
Dustin Harris back at his own 35-yard line to receive this punt from Kirby Vanderkamp. A wobbly punt comes down at midfield and will roll out of bounds near the 45-yard line of Texas A&M. Well, the Aggies have the football back. Let's take a look at their Impact Players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Starts with Ryan Swope, just an incredible athlete, run after the catch. He can do all of those things. And then he's got Cyrus Gray in the backfield. Gray is a spinster, and I don't mean an old lady. I mean, he can put more spin moves on you than anybody. And then the 1-2, the 2 out of this punch, the haymaker, is Christine Michael. And he will attack defenders at the end of runs like nobody else.
After the 33-yard punt, it's not the starting field position they had after the interception on their first possession, but they begin at their own 46. And Christine Michael races ahead for a couple of yards. There is Michael Jr. from Beaumont, Texas.
This is a great 1-2 running back punch that A&M brings with these 2 guys, in Michael and Cyrus Gray. And they're really very similar in size. Gray maybe 1 size smaller at 5'10", 200. Michael 5'11", 215. But very similar body builds.
From the eye, Tannehill throws to the near sideline. It's caught. Wachiku. Zomo Wachiku brought down by Leonard Johnson. And a first down for A&M.
Just a timing route to the outside, and I think this is what Tannehill does as well as anybody. You know, he played receiver for 2.5 years for this team, so he knows when the ball should be there, and he gets it there.
His pass to Nate Askew as the quick snap, a gain of 6. As Washington pushed him out of bounds.
They will go fast, will the Aggie offense.
2nd down and 4. All just outside the 35 of the Cyclones. Tannehill rolling left. Lets it go and just airmails it. Swope, the intended receiver, but he was double covered on that far side. Jake McDonough with the pressure on Tannehill. Now Mike Sherman, head coach for the Aggies. His team with the early points on the field goal, but now facing a 3rd down and 4 from the 35. Gray is now the back for Texas A&M. Tannehill looking left, now running right, and is sacked. Back at the 40, Jake McDonough, the junior out of Urbandale, Iowa.
And McDonough's just going to beat Matthews with a little bit of a move, a little twist move to the outside, and he just pushes him back. Nowhere to go with the ball for Tannehill. Good coverage. That's a coverage sack by the Cyclone secondary.
Only the 4th sack allowed by Texas A&M this season. That very impressive offensive line has well protected Tannehill this year, Ray.
Yeah, in fact, he was talking to us, said last week he only hit the ground 2 or 3 times. That's pretty good afternoon for a quarterback when you can keep the jersey clean.
And the flag as the play clock runs down.
I think that was intentional, trying to get a little more room.
For punter Ryan Epperson. Epperson now back at his own 41. Josh Lynn's back to receive the punt at the 10 of the Cyclones. Was going to bounce behind him right in the end zone for a touchback. So the Cyclone defense has been up to the test so far. They'll get their 3rd possession of this football game, trailing by 3.
Do you know how you will react when someone changes lanes without warning? Or when you're distracted? When you're falling asleep at the wheel? Do you know how you will react? Lexus can now precisely test the most unpredictable variable in a car, the driver. When you pursue perfection, you don't just engineer the world's most advanced driving simulator. You engineer amazing.
Hey, everyone's eating tacos outside Bill's office.
Do you think that's some information I would like to know?
I like tacos.
You invited Eric? I thought Eric gave you the creeps. Oh. Yeah. Hey.
Don't be left behind. Get it faster with 4G. AT&T.
Here's to the things that keep us comfortable. Good friends, loyal dogs, and a pair of great-fitting jeans. Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. For long-lasting comfort and value, the right choice is Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
With DirecTV, you can start watching in one room, pause, and continue watching in any other room. Experience it yourself. Get your whole home connected for free. Don't just watch TV. DirecTV.
ESPN's College Football on ABC. Brought to you by Kay Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. Lexus, it's time to engineer amazing. And AT&T, get it faster with 4G. We think possible.
Well, the weather has cooperated well for homecoming weekend here in Ames. Their offense, though, looking to get it going. Their defense playing well to begin this game, down 3-0. This is their 5th play of the football game and their first for positive yardage as James White gains a couple of yards before inside linebacker Jonathan Stewart brings him down.
Now they're going to go a little fast here as both teams will use a jet-type tempo in this game.
4 receivers, 3 to the right as they all look to the sideline. Now he moves White to the left side. Chance throws across the middle and incomplete, intended for Darius Reynolds. An awkward look there with Reynolds kind of jamming at the ball with one hand.
I don't like this read by Jantz. I thought he should have dumped it out to the flat to James White, where he had a lot of room out there. There was really no flat defender. It was a soft flat by this A&M defense, and I'm sure they're going to tell Steele Jantz about that, and we'll see that look again.
Cyclones have won so far on third down. A third down and 8. Jantz under pressure, tripped up. May have hit the foot of his own offensive lineman, Tom Farniok.
That's exactly what he does, and a good push on the inside, knocking people back into him. Eddie Brown Jr. Give him the credit for that play.
So another 3 and out for the Cyclone offense. And Kirby Vanderkamp with his second punt of the game. Dustin Harris back at his own 42 for the Aggies. Better punt this time from Vanderkamp. First one was 33 yards. This one all the way back to the 34. Harris brought down near midfield. Another fine starting field position for the Aggies. Our Big 12 update is brought to you by Dr. Pepper 10. K-State remaining unbeaten with a win over their in-state rival KU. And Oklahoma State over Missouri 45-24. Some thought that may be a trap for the Pokes, but they get the win, and the third-ranked Sooners later tonight.
You've got to score 40 points or more to win a game in the Big 12.
Gray in the backfield, and Tannehill hands it off to him straight ahead. And Cyrus Gray, the senior from DeSoto, Texas, picks up 4 yards. Patrick Neal, the right defensive end, with the tackle. Ryan Tannehill, 6'4", 222 pounds. On his career, 26 TD passes, 12 interceptions, and of course began his career as a wide receiver for the Aggies. And he throws it out of bounds over Ray. Patrick Neal, though, was putting the heat on Tannehill, so he got rid of it.
Great read by the Cyclone defense to see this screen. Wally Burnham's troops out there understanding what was going to happen to him, and they took it away, forcing Tannehill to just throw that one, lob that one into his own bench. Nowhere to go with it.
A&M 0 of 2 on third down so far. This is a third down and 6 at the 48 of the Cyclones, and a flag. Well, after thinking about that one, our referee Dan Romeo, they're going to call intentional grounding on that last play against the Aggies.
Yeah, Tannehill was still inside the pocket. And what you're taught to do on those is just drill it into the ground in the direction of your screen back, and then you won't get that call. But if he's in the pocket, he can't just throw it away and get away with it. Watch him. You're going to see the pocket is, he never moves outside the pocket, just back straight up. And so when you throw that thing out of there as a throwaway, they're going to nab you for intentional grounding. And they're still talking about it down there.
So that pass was so high. That's the reason for the flag in the discussion. As you mentioned, though, Ray, if he throws it right at the feet of Gray, he doesn't get that call.
Exactly. And the whole linchpin to that call is he never left the pocket. And so there's rules now on how do you get rid of the football in that situation and not get a penalty, and he didn't follow that.
So it cost him another 5, and it's third down and 12 back at their own 46. 4 receivers to the right. Tannehill tried to thread the needle there, incomplete at the 30-yard line.
Boy, and he missed an opportunity there, did Tannehill, because Ryan Swope was wide open, ran a seam route. Nobody stays with him. Watch him. He's right here, and he's going to run right down the seam right there, and he's going to clear, and there's going to be nobody there. Bam, right there. Look at all the room that he has. Tannehill's going to hear about that one as well.
Instead, he went for Malcolm Kennedy, number 84, into double coverage. And the punt by Epperson, taken at the 14. Land spins, and only gets a yard or so on the return. 40-yard punt, a return of 1. So the Cyclone offense back to work when we come back to Ames.
You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC. presented by Kay Jewelers.
Look around, you can't deny. All this here is paradise. I got the sun on my back, got the world at my feet.
For a refreshingly real ginger taste, grab a Canada Dry Ginger Ale. Real ginger, real taste.
We build tires, but not like anybody else. We build our tires for people, not just cars. So more than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Like get up to $75 back on 4 qualifying Cooper tires during our Take the Money and Ride event. Get your rebate form and complete terms and conditions at a participating Cooper Tire dealer or CooperTireRebates.com. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
A great zombie movie doesn't happen by accident. First, you need cool makeup. Second, the right actors. Third, a killer computer. The guy at Best Buy, who makes movies too, said we'd want a laptop with Intel inside. He knew I needed a very scary zombie, and he got the part. Now I just need an agent. Great PCs have Intel inside. Discover what's possible at Best Buy.
So this is Enzo, the artiste behind my wardrobe. You know, when I got him on E-Trade, he was all like, "Oh no, I cannot do investing." That's actually a perfect Enzo. But after a couple educational videos and a little hand-holding from customer support, next thing you know, he's got a stunning portfolio. Now he's planning to retire in Tuscany. We're both pretty emotional about it. Shh. Don't say a word. You're welcome.
E-Trade. Investing Unleashed. ABC's Desperate Housewives. All new Sunday, 9/8 Central.
Nearly midway through this first quarter, 3-0 Texas A&M. Heisman hopefuls will be the spotlight of ABC's Saturday night football games as Landry Jones and OU host Seth Agee and the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Also Andrew Luck leads 8th-ranked Stanford against the Washington Huskies. Saturday night football presented by Southwest Airlines on ABC or ESPN3 tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And the new quarterback for Iowa State as Jared Barnett takes over for Steele Jantz. And a handoff. White keeps the feet moving. And the big pile there heads him up near the 27-yard line for a gain of about 10. Now let's check in with the studio. Here's Kevin Connors.
All right, Mark, your Taco Bell studio update. The #1 team in America has used an 8-play, 76-yard drive to open the game against Auburn. Check out Kenny Hilliard muscle his way in from 9 yards out. 7-0 LSU leads Auburn, and Oregon already out to a 15-0 lead on Colorado. Kenyon Barner, a touchdown run. Mark?
Kevin, thanks very much. Bustling, a good way to describe that run moments ago by James White here in Ames as well, Rick.
You say muscling or bustling?
Both.
Yeah, they're both a muscling and a bustling.
White again, this time tripped up. Back at the 24, Sean Porter, the outside linebacker, with a tackle for loss.
Well, I would not be running at Sean Porter if I had my choices. And you see the new quarterback, Jared Barnett, finished the game last week and led his team to a touchdown in the drive. One of the drives that he was in there was 3 of 8 passing, but ran the ball very well. A lot of zone read when he's in the ball game.
He has 3 receivers to the right, looking at that direction, throws and complete to the tight end, Reed Branderhorst. Still going to be about 6 yards shy of the first down. Jonathan Stewart and Sean Porter, the linebackers, collapsed on him.
We were talking with Tom Herman, the offensive coordinator for Iowa State, and he said Jared Barnett had an inauspicious beginning. The first snap he ever took, he tripped over one of his offensive linemen, fell on his back, and the second snap had a tip ball interception. So not a good way to start a career.
A little better start here today with that complete pass to Branderhorst, but it's 3rd down and 6 at their own 32-yard line. Barnett across the middle, caught, lands, makes a move to the 40-yard line, down at the 39 of A&M. 29-yard pass complete completion for the redshirt freshman Barnett.
A little bit of a mismatch there. Stephen Jenkins, one of the inside linebackers, drew the coverage on Lentz, and Barnett saw he had something and found the tight end in the middle.
They go quick again, and White straight ahead for a couple.
Here's a look at this pass, and you can see Barnett. He's eyeballing his big tight end the entire way, and perfect timing on the throw as he just clears the defender and then comes up with the ball. I think I said tight end. I meant wide receiver in that tight end spot, Josh Lentz.
So second down and 8. Barnett looking to the sideline. Barnett hands off. White finds a little crease off the right tackle. Up near the 20, make that 31-yard line. A couple of yards shy of the first down. He picks up 5. Ben Compton and Caleb Russell bring him down. James White's a bit of a workhorse, and he can find little seams and explode through them just like he did on that last play. Hawkeyes now 1 of 3 on third down after converting earlier on this drive. Reynolds, the receiver, wide to the right. He's been their top receiver this year. Third down and 3. Barnett has plenty of time and finds his man, Aaron Horn, first down at the 21-yard line of Texas A&M. Great patience by Jared Barnett, waiting for his receiver to come open over the middle. Watching film of this Aggie defense, they have a lot of problems in the middle of the field. You see how it clears, and now he just finds it right up the gut. There's been a hole in the middle of this Aggie defense. And a pre-snap whistle with the flag out. And the false start against the Cyclones. And Mike, for our referee, Dan Romeo, not functioning at this moment. It pushes him back 5, a 1st and 15 at the 26. Those are drive killers, those 1st and 10 pre-snap penalties. Fakes the handoff to White. Barnett, who can run, takes off inside the 20, pulled down in the open field at the 18-yard line. Stephen Jenkins, the inside linebacker, came up to bring him down, but not before a gain of 7. This is shows you the acceleration that Barnett has. I mean, that's a little bit of a seam, and he still blew past a would-be tackler, picking up a nice little amount of yardage. Cutting that 1st and 15 down to 2nd and 8. 3 receivers left. The one to the right is Darius Reynolds. White to the end zone. James White, a 19-yard touchdown run, and Iowa State claims the lead. A nice block by the wide receiver, Darius Reynolds. White seemed to take him by surprise there, Ray. He hits the hole very fast. I've said it a couple of times how explosive he is, and he's also hard to see. So you have second-level defenders who don't see him, and then he's so quick. Those two things combined allow him to just blow through the second-level defenders. Zach Geyer on for the extra point out of the hole to Brett Bucher. Well, the Cyclone offense with Jared Barnett now handling the quarterback duties. The run by White. And with under 3.5 minutes to go in this first quarter, it's now the Cyclones with the lead. Score a first quarter, and it's taken at the 4-yard line by Askew. Hit at the 16. Gets close to the 20. 16-yard return. 7-3 Iowa State as they score a first quarter touchdown for just the 2nd time this year, the previous being week 5 at Baylor. You surprised by this beginning, Ray?
I am actually shocked, to be honest with you, by this beginning, especially the way it started out. A Steele Jantz interception on the first play from scrimmage, but yet the defense has rallied this football team, kept it in it, and then you make the change at quarterback. Barnett gives them a spark, and then you get a tackle inside the 20 on the ensuing kickoff. So special teams have caught fire as well.
Well, let's see how A&M responds. They have only 17 total yards to this point, all through the air, and Tannehill back to the air, and it's incomplete. Looking for Fuller at the 24-yard line. Leonard Johnson, the quarterback, had him on the coverage.
Tannehill's a little late with this ball, which surprises me. You don't often see that, and a great job of sitting on that route. I think you're going to see some double moves coming at the Cyclones before this thing is over, because Leonard Johnson was squatting for that out route.
Second down and 10 from A&M's 19. From under center, Tannehill, quick strike, Swope, hit quickly, is able to lunge forward to get back near the line of scrimmage. Leonard Johnson hit him behind the line, but he does lose a yard.
This Aggie offense looks a little out of sorts. They had such great success in their big win last week over Baylor, but I don't see Tannehill being very comfortable yet. Been sacked once already. Missed an opportunity for hitting Swope on the last third down.
This is a third down and 11. Tannehill from the gun, looking right, throws, tipped. Wajiku was the intended receiver, and it was almost intercepted by the strong safety, Taron Benton of the Cyclones.
That's an outstanding underneath drop by Benton. Gets right into the throwing lane and gets the hand on it, breaking up the pass. And this Cyclone football team is on fire right now.
And they have this homecoming crowd on their side as well. Under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter from Ames. Ryan Epperson averaging 40 yards per punt this season. A fair catch at the 29 for Linz. 52-yard punt. No return. Well, Iowa State has had some big wins under their third-year head coach Paul Rhodes. Back in October of 2009, they beat Nebraska 9-7. They were +8 in the turnover margin in that game, won it by 2. Then last year, October 23rd and 2010, win in Austin, 28-21 over the Longhorns. Alexander Robinson, 119 yards, a couple of scores. They won it by a touchdown. And then earlier this year, this was in overtime, the third overtime, the James White touchdown run. They beat their in-state rival Iowa 44-41. Barnett throwing deep, and it's going to overshoot the intended receiver, Chris Young, who was double covered. This head coach, Paul Rhodes, he can be emotional on the sidelines.
Yeah, he likes to celebrate a little bit. I tell you, I had a lot of respect for Paul Rhodes even coming in, and then when we sat down and talked to him, his demeanor and the intelligent approach, the way he handles things, and his ability to relate to players, all those things I think lead to his success.
Takes the handoff to Linz. Makes a move up to the 40-yard line. He has a first down. A gain of 11 on the catch and run for Josh Linz.
Great blocking by Hammerschmidt and Darius Darks, creating that little gap, that little seam for Linz to go through. He finds his way through there to move the chains.
First down Cyclones from their own 40. They lead at 7-3. Quick screen pass. This one caught for the gain of 4. James White out of the backfield making the catch.
Tom Herman, the offensive coordinator for Iowa State, dialing up a couple of back-to-back bubble screens, trying to loosen up that Aggie defense, get them to put more resources to the outside so they can run up the middle.
Once again, 4 receivers, 3 to the left. The quarterback, Jared Barnett, who was taken over for Steele Jantz. Another screen, this time well read by A&M as Linz is hit quickly for a loss of 2. Caleb Russell, the tackle.
Yeah, and Hammerschmidt misses his block on this one. Now this is the previous one where you get this seam right here. Great blocking by both of those receivers out there. But on the last one that got stuffed, Hammerschmidt did not get his guy.
So 3rd down and 8. At the 42 of Iowa State. 3 receivers down to the right side.
Overload blitz on the bottom right down here.
Couple back off. Gets to Reynolds off his hands at midfield. Had he come down with it, would have been enough for the first down. Dustin Harris, the cornerback, was with him there on the sideline.
That's the only knock against Darius Reynolds is he's a body catcher. Much better getting the ball into his frame and squeezing it with that body as like a third prong, the 2 hands and then the body. He's not a good hand catcher, and that one went right through his hands.
Kirby Vanderkamp to punt. Dustin Harris back at his own 20. He has to back up to his own 11, lost the football, but gets the bounce right back to him, and he's ahead to the 20 and brought down at the 21-yard line. Harris very fortunate. He did not give up that football. Matt Morton made the tackle on special teams, and Harris slow to get up.
Boy, he is so fortunate to get the hop right into his hands after he muffs this thing. And he did take a big old hit. That's great special teams play. Morton just laid him out. But look at this. He drops it, bounces right to him. And that's a sign of having a little angel on your shoulder.
Yeah, you couldn't get a truer bounce like that straight up if you tried 100 times, maybe once. And then the hit at the end by Morton.
That's when you know your team is ready to play, when you're getting big hits and making plays on special teams. Coach Sherman's looking over that playlist, trying to figure out what's going to work.
Randy Bullock with a 25-yard field goal 2 minutes into the game for A&M's points. James White, a 19-yard touchdown run with 3:29 left in this first quarter. And with under a minute to go in this initial stanza, A&M with the ball again. Flag. Tannehill dropped for a loss back at the 20.
Not sure. It looked like Jake McDonough might have gotten an early deal.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, Jake McDonough, guessing the snap count, got into that neutral zone just a fraction of a second early. In fact, he might even have lined up in it. There he is right there. The big fella got good penetration, but got a head start.
Second penalty against the Cyclones in this game. Tannehill swings it out up near the 33-yard line. That's tight end Nehemiah Hicks. A.J. Klein ran him out of bounds. 4th catch of the season for Hicks.
Maybe this Aggie offense could get going a little bit. Got themselves a first down. Switch personnel into what we call 21 personnel. 2 backs, 1 tight end.
Takes the handoff to Michael. Throws down the far sideline and too high and incomplete near midfield. Russell, Jeff Fuller, the intended receiver. Leonard Johnson had the coverage.
Tannehill is off the mark a little bit. I saw him make that same exact throw to Jeff Fuller several times last week, and the timing was immaculate. Here he's a little bit late again, and then the ball was inaccurate, thrown high and outside.
No catches for Fuller so far in this first quarter with the final seconds of quarter number 1. Into the pile and no gain there. Michael, and that's going to take us to the end of a surprising first quarter. For a brief word.
Yeah, I've been in those meetings, and basically what Coach Sherman is saying, all right, we got that out of our system. We're only down by 4. Let's go play Aggie football from here on out.
A&M came into this game averaging nearly 42 points per game and 525 yards of offense. 23 total yards in that first quarter for the Aggies.
Yeah, just 1 rushing yard on 8 attempts.
Tannehill being chased lets it fly, and incomplete. Had to get rid of it because Jake Knott, number 20 for the Cyclones, was right on his tail.
Jake Knott he's your linebacker right here, and he's going to come on a blitz, and he's actually a kind of a delayed blitz, what I call a green dog, where he's got coverage on a back initially. That back blocks, that frees him up to go.
Aaron Horn and Josh Lenz back to receive the punt of Ryan Epperson.
Got a false start on A&M.
And we're pushing back to their own 30.
They're discussing it, but I clearly saw an A&M player move first.
Offside. Defense. Number 14 moves into the neutral zone.
I was looking right at it. And, what happens is if the defense makes a movement, a quick sudden movement on this, and draws the offense offside, then that will be on the defense, as long as they penetrate the neutral zone, which is basically the width of the football along the entire horizontal line of scrimmage.
Well, it was 4th and 9, so the penalty was not enough for the first down. They still booed it, and the fair catch called for by Lenz, who makes the catch at the 19 with a little bit of light contact. Let's take a look at this week's BCS standings, brought to you by Vizio. LSU in a battle with the reigning national champs. Oklahoma State with a win already today on the road at Missouri. And a big one tonight.
The thing I like about this right now, the way it's stacked up, Mark, is you're going to see 1 play 2 and 3 play 4. I don't know if they'll be in those positions later on in the season when they do meet, but they are slated to play each other.
Jeff Woody now in the backfield for Iowa State. Barnett fakes the handoff to him. Now throwing towards the sideline and incomplete. Closest receiver was Darius Darks.
Yeah, only 3 receivers out in the route and 5 guys back to cover him, so nowhere to go with the football there for Burnett.
Now White in the backfield with Barnett on 2nd down and 10. Does give the handoff to White. He's been at the line of scrimmage and does fall forward for a yard, but had his face mask grabbed.
Yeah, Lionel Smith came up and yanked on that face mask a little bit. And that's one they're not going to miss very often.
Donnie Baggs was also over there helping out on the tackle, but it was number 3 Smith that got the face mask. Right there.
Yeah, pretty obvious. The thing that stuck out to me on that play was White, for the first time, kind of ran laterally, east and west, if you will. He's much better back when he's running straight downhill. Got a little 4-man formation up here, a little diamond.
Over on that left side, 1st down after the personal foul penalty. Ball up to the 36 of the Cyclones. They lead it 7-3 here early in the 2nd quarter. Barnett, quick pass, but that was quickly read by Sean Porter, who jumped up and swatted it down.
We saw this play earlier out of the same formation, and the big problem that you have right here is you're not going to block. You're going to get a down block here. Porter has a free run, and he's going basically to the point. See how he didn't come necessarily straight at the quarterback? He's trying to intercept that throwing lane, and that's exactly what he did.
2nd down at 10. 3 receivers left. White in the backfield. Reynolds, the lone receiver, at the bottom of your screen, wide right. Barnett looks his direction, now goes left, and it's caught at the 41-yard line. Still about 5 yards shy of the 1st down, and Josh Lenz a little slow getting up after a hit by number 10, Sean Porter. And there's Kelechi Osemele. Osemele from Houston, down on one knee. He's a 6'6", nearly 350-pound left tackle, making his 38th consecutive start. It's been an up-and-down season for Osemele, who has been a player that the NFL scouts have been watching very closely.
Yeah, he's garnered a lot of attention, and it hasn't lived up to it. and his coaches have had that conversation with him. Hey, you're not quite getting it done. And there, boy, it's hard to say exactly what happened as he collapsed in the middle of that attempt at a block.
Iowa State 2 of 5 on third down. This is a 3rd and 5 from their 41. Barnett has to run, being chased by Porter, has room and a first down to midfield. Brought down at the 45-yard line of Texas A&M. He gallops for 13, and we see what Jared Barnett can do with the wheels.
No doubt. I don't think Steele Jantz is healthy, and I think they saw that early on. He wasn't really moving around well, so they go to Barnett, and he is healthy, and he's a fast one. When he pulls it down, he can make things happen.
It's been a foot injury for Steele Jantz. He played the first three series of the game. First series, a quick interception, then 2 3-and-outs, and since then it's been Barnett. Woody in the backfield. He gets the first carry of the day for Jeff Woody. Gavin Stansbury, the defensive end, with the tackle after a short gain of 1.
I'm looking for the Cyclones to attack the middle of the field again. When they started having success in the passing game, everything was right down the middle. And looking at this A&M defense, that's where they've struggled.
Three receivers to the right side. Chris Young, the lone receiver, wide left. Barnett looking in his direction, makes an adjustment, incomplete at the 22-yard line. Terrence Frederick and the coverage on Young. And at the last moment, an adjustment by Young, but incomplete.
That's a ball you have to throw high up over the top. He tried to back shoulder it, and his receiver, Young, had a step. So when you try and throw back shoulder, when the guy's got a step, if the defender gets his head around, he's going to be able to make a play on the ball. Nice job by Young of knocking it out of the hands of Frederick at the end.
And Frederick nearly with the pick there. 3rd down and 9. Barnett steps up, throws across the middle, tipped and incomplete, nearly picked off by Dustin Harris, number 22.
That was a last-second split decision by Barnett. He wanted to go outside. He looked like he had a wheel route open early. Then he changes his mind and throws late over the middle, and when you do that, you're fortunate that the ball is not picked off.
Darius Reynolds, the intended receiver, took a hit at the end of that play, and he is down.
Reynolds hurt his toe in preseason, missed a little bit of camp, and you know, he's struggled and battled with injuries throughout his career, but you see he's 5th in the Big 12 right now in receiving yards per game.
Took a little pop there at the end from Frederick.
Yeah, and it was weird. He kind of collapsed late, like he wasn't sure if he was hurt or not, and then decided he was.
Now leads up. Reynolds without a catch today, though he leads the Cyclones with 28 catches on the year, has 6 touchdown receptions. His own 10 for A&M. And a punt from Kirby Vanderkamp. That one angling out of bounds, well wide left. Let's see where they're going to mark it. Still going at the 28-yard line, so that did not work out for Vanderkamp. Just a 16-yard punt. Still 12:06 to go. Looks like it's going to stop at 5 unless he wins a lot of races here at the second half of the chase. Cyrus Gray carrying, running right, able to turn it upfield for a couple of yards for nose guard Stephen Rumpelhammer, the senior born in Holland there, number 97, but played high school football in Oklahoma in Tulsa at Union High School.
That's a great name for a nose tackle. Rumpelhammer. You gotta love that.
2nd down and 7. Play fake, Tannehill swings it out. The reception, and tripped up at the 38-yard line. That's the tight end, Michael Lamoth. Taron Benton up into them, number 22.
This Iowa State defense is flowing hard, and they also lost a defender in that flat as A.J. Klein blitzed, and that created room out in the flat for the tight end, Lamoth.
So after a gain of 8, first down, going back to the air. Fuller with the catch to midfield. He picks up 10 for a first down.
Boy, Jake Knott was so close to making that play. Just a little bit of a late read on the slant route. Just missed it.
Another quick first down now in midfield for Texas A&M. Tannehill for Fuller. Had to reach for it. Caught at the 45 for a pickup of 6. Second catch now for Fuller. Ryan Tannehill, who took over for Jerron Johnson last year as the quarterback, won his first 5 starts. But look at the numbers as a wide receiver. He contributed in that area as well.
He was a pretty good wide receiver. And I think it's really helped him in terms of playing quarterback.
Dumps it off to Gray. He's got some room. 35, 30, inside the 30, down near the 27-yard line. A gain of 17 and another first down as A&M is driving.
And they've hit on something. They finally found a little something that's working, and that's the bootlegs. As we take a look at Ryan Tannehill when he was a wide receiver. I mean, he can make some plays. Look at him going up here and making a catch in the corner of the end zone, and then watch your future quarterback take a big hit and hang in there.
Yeah, I asked Ryan, I said, does that help you with your chemistry with the receiver since you played that spot? And he says, yeah, it probably does so. Gives it Wachiku turning the left corner, but met and dropped at the 30-yard line. He loses a couple. Taron Benton again there on the hit. Patrick Neal was the first one chasing Wachiku.
Yeah, Neal makes this play. You see him 91 right there, how he kept his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. That allows him to change directions and keep pace with a much faster man.
Gray is the back. You see Swope there, number 25, tight in this tight formation. But the pass left side is off the hands of Fuller and incomplete at the 25.
Boy, you don't see these two miss on this type of hookup. It's a quick timing, just a quick out route. And that one hits you on the hands. I think Jeff Fuller would tell you, boy, I got to make that play, even though it was a bit outside.
That ball was on the way before Fuller made his break.
And that's what I think playing receiver has done for Ryan Tannehill. Helps him with the timing.
A&M yet to convert on third down. 0 for 5. Tannehill towards the end zone. A one-handed attempt by Fuller, incomplete. Leonard Johnson, the cornerback, was trailing him by about a half step.
Yeah, Fuller wants a interference. He wants a flag on this, and you be the judge right here as you watch Leonard Johnson. He grabs the right hand right there, grabs the right arm, not allowing Fuller to get 2 hands on the football. I think Johnson got away with one.
So a long field goal attempt for Randy Bullock. Made a 25-yarder just 2 minutes into the game. This one from 47. Got it. So a second field goal today for Randy Bullock. Makes it a 1-point game with 9:19 left till halftime. And a bounce picked up at the 12 by Lenz. Straight ahead to the 25. Cuts right. 35. Still on his feet across the 40. Getting tackled at the 43-yard line. A 32-yard kickoff return for Lenz before Desmond Gardner and a host of other Aggies brought him down.
Lenz actually sees this hole a little bit late, in my opinion. He picks it up, and watch, he's going to go up the middle, and then all of a sudden it breaks out to the right. He didn't notice it. If he'd have seen that quicker, that might have gone to the house.
Well, back comes Iowa State. Jared Barnett, who took over at quarterback for the 4th series, offensive series of this game for the Cyclones. He has Woody and White in the backfield as they begin at their own 43. Hand off White straight ahead. Pushes across the 45 to the 46 for a gain of close to 20. And upcoming is the 8th play of this drive.
Swope right up here.
Tannehill, hands off. Gray cuts left inside the 10. Tripped up. Retreated a little bit before Jeremy Reeves undercut him. He does pick up 7.
Boy, the initial cut by Gray when he decided to go outside and just blew past the defender. Just left him flat-footed. He's a special talent.
1st and goal. Tannehill pumps, throws left, caught, headed towards the pylon, leaping. Fuller, did he get in? Yes! Touchdown, Texas A&M. 3rd touchdown catch of the season for Jeff Fuller.
Just a little whip route down there. Make an inside cut and then whip it back to the outside. And good timing on the throw from Tannehill allowed Fuller to do something with it after making the catch.
'31st career touchdown catch for Fuller, and the point after added on by Randy Bullock. So Texas A&M goes 80 yards on 9 plays, eat up a little over 3 minutes, and they take the lead back. The leaping Fuller scoring. 4:08 to go till halftime. 13-7 A&M.
More than anything.
Jarvis West and Lids back deep, and it's Lins from the 8. Jumps over one defender and gets up to the 24-yard line. Well, time for today's Aflac trivia question. And we see it for the first time, as do you. In the question, what former Iowa State quarterback once threw 4 TD passes in a single NFL quarter? The answer coming up a little bit later.
Yeah, our producer Eric Posman likes to keep these questions from us and test our knowledge. And I'm failing this one right now. I'm going to have to put some thought into it.
I just have a wild guess, which we'll hold on to for now. Glad to have you along with us. Mark Neely with Ray Bentley and our crew from Jack Trice Stadium in Ames. Texas A&M ranked 17th in the BCS standings. Have been trailing much of this game, but after the Jeff Fuller 10-yard touchdown reception moments ago, have a 13-7 lead.
Yeah, an officials conference is holding up play right now.
James White is the back for quarterback Jared Barnett. Play fake. Barnett. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Aaron Horn up at the 38-yard line.
I think Barnett eventually will get to the point where he'll realize it's not there and check it down, because he had a James White open out of the backfield who could have probably been very close to picking up the first down, but he waited and waited and then tried to force it deep down the middle.
Numbers on Barnett, who came in for the 4th offensive series of this game, replacing the starter Steele Jantz. Handoff White, straight ahead, breaks one tackle before he's wrapped up at the 33-yard line by Trent Hunter, a gain of 9.
Ethan Tufter, the left guard, had a nice block, knocking the linebacker out of the way to create a lot of room.
Quick snap on 3rd and short, and looks like White will have enough there to get the first down before being met by Jonathan Stewart and Eddie Brown. First down Cyclones from their own 35. Here's Steele Jantz, number 2, the starting quarterback for the Cyclones, who has had a bad foot. He does not publicly talk much about the injury, but some coaches feel that it has affected his play. That's incomplete, picked up off the ground.
Lionel Smith came in on a corner blitz and once again knocks down a pass, getting in the throwing lanes, getting the hands up. That's an effective play for a defense.
Second down and 10. 3 receivers going to the left side. the football, White. It's jumped on by Osemele, the left tackle. Spencer Neely stripped him.
I'm not sure if Barnett wanted to pull that ball, because I think he was supposed to pull the football on this one. He had Osemele pulling in front of him. Actually, it was Hayworth Hicks, excuse me, pulling in front of him. And I think it was supposed to be an inside run, and Barnett didn't quite take care of the football.
So a loss of 10. It is 3rd down and 20 back at their own 25. Barnett, here comes the rush, throws deep, and just across midfield, incomplete, intended for Darius Reynolds, but number 22, Dustin Harris, the junior from Livingston, Texas, on the coverage. Did he look back as that pass was coming down?
He doesn't look back, but does he make contact? Because he's not looking back, and they're kind of arm fighting a little bit. I've seen that one called pass interference before.
Kirby Vanderkamp to punt. Harris back at his own 40. And an end-over-end punt bounces inside the 30. He'll let it roll. And the Cyclones are going to down it just outside the 20. Well, let's answer our Aflac trivia question. Question again. What former Iowa State quarterback once threw 4 TD passes in a single NFL quarter? You going to take a guess before
I'm going to let you go with this one. You thought
Seneca?
you had
Seneca Wallace?
Seneca Wallace? How about
Overshoots everyone, incomplete at the 14-yard line. Jeremy Reeves covering Fuller on that route.
Yeah, here's Paul Rose. He's winding the clock. Get him a striped shirt and a whistle. And it happened right in front of him, so I got to think he had a pretty good look at it himself. Not real happy with the officiating as Paul Rose been here in the first half.
3rd and 10. A&M 0 for 6 on 3rd down in this game. Swope in the slot on the right side. They look to the sideline. Michael the back.
Swope's going to be double covered right here. You got two defenders lined up on him.
And Tannehill will burn a timeout as A&M uses their first. With the play clock winding down. $1:15 to go till halftime. We're at Jack Trice Stadium. Jack Trice was the first African-American athlete here at Iowa State. He was a member of the 1923 football team. He played in a game at Minnesota on the road the night before the game. He wrote a letter to himself while apart from the team at a racially segregated hotel saying, "The honor of my race, family, and self is at stake, and my whole body and soul will be thrown recklessly throughout the field." Trice suffered massive injuries in that game. He died as a result just days later. Jack Trice never saw Ernie Davis win the Heisman Trophy or heard Martin Luther King's dream, but his spirit immortalized here at the stadium in Ames that is named for him.
And you see the quote, "I will," above that, and that's how he finished that letter that he wrote to himself that they found in his pocket after he had passed. And we saw the original copy of that letter. Pretty emotional situation.
Very moving. Well, this crowd at Jack Trice Stadium on homecoming Saturday in Ames making some noise. 3rd and 10, A&M from their own 49. Tannehill across the middle finds Swope for a first down at the 37 of Iowa State. A.J. Klein pushed him down, but a pickup of 14.
And this is one of those timing routes where Swope's just going to go get past the sticks, the yard to make, and then just hitch up and come back to his quarterback, and the ball was delivered on perfect time.
A minute to go in this quarter. Caught on stride by Wachiku, and he's inside the 20. Great pass by Tannehill. Jeremy Reeves brings him down. A gain of 20.
And Reeves just gave too big of a cushion. No underneath help. That slant pass was there until the cows come home.
Tannehill caught into the end zone. Touchdown. That's tight end Michael Lamoth with his 2nd touchdown catch of the season.
Well, and the problem with that one for the Cyclone defense, nobody disrupted Lamoth's pass. He was able to run straight up the seam and get deep into the secondary very quickly. It didn't allow enough time for anybody to come over and make a play. They've got to change and alter his get-off. If you let a guy just run straight up the field from tight in the slot, it's too much pressure on a safety.
Point after for Randy Bullock, and with 42 seconds left till halftime, 27 A&M, and Ryan Tannehill finding the rhythm with his receivers now.
And you saw Lamoth, nobody messed with him or made him change his route as he headed up the field. And when you get that kind of get off, bad things are going to happen on the back end to you.
Tannehill, after
seems to have heated up a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say he had a very difficult first quarter, as did his teammates, but now 14 for 25.
Well, he was 4 of 10 at the end of 1.
He goes 4 for 5 on that last drive.
Seems like that whole offense has gotten this Cyclone defense spread out a little bit.
And Lenz in a short kick taken at the 21 by Lenz. He's up to the 38-yard line. And with that short kickoff and return, there's 38 seconds left. The Cyclones have 2 timeouts remaining and a pretty good starting field position.
Yeah, we'll see how Mr. Barnett does in the 2-minute drill. Doesn't have 2 minutes, obviously, but they're going to be in a hurry-up situation, no huddle, which they run anyway. But now the tempo becomes very important. Things like getting out of bounds become important. See the hot start, not so much since.
Barnett throws far side and wide and incomplete. Intended for Aaron Horn. Second down, 33 seconds left.
It's a fine line in this situation. If you're Iowa State, you want to push it down the field, see if you can get some points, close this gap a little bit. But the last thing you want is a young quarterback to turn the ball over.
Barnett with two receivers to each side and White in the backfield. Barnett throws. He's got a man open and he dropped it at the 33-yard line. Aaron Horn had it in stride and just lost the handle.
That's a nightmare drop. That's one that'll keep you awake all night long. This is a perfectly thrown ball again down the middle of the field. It looked to me like Horn heard some footsteps from the safety coming over, Terrence Frederick, actually a corner, and he tried to get his eyes up there to see what was coming and never finished the process of the catch.
Well, third down and 10, still at the 39 of the Cyclones.
It's one guy in a three-point stance there.
Flag. Pass was caught, but Reynolds flagged first, no play. And a false start will cost them 5.
I'd go right back to that seam route. The one Aaron Horn dropped just moments ago, because the Aggies have still not closed that hole in the middle of their defense. The officials are discussing this situation. Not sure what that's all about. We've had a lot of little mini conferences here today.
3rd and 15.
I don't have a problem with that, as long as they make sure they get everything right. You can conference all you want.
Barnett hands it off to White. Fumbles forward to the 45, about 4 yards shy of the first down. The tackle for Jonathan Stewart, the inside linebacker. Clock rolling down to 15 seconds. 4th down.
Yeah, I don't snap the ball if I'm Iowa State here.
And that looks like that is indeed what they will do or not do, and let the clock run out here in the first half.
A little do not do.
A double negative there,
but do not don't.
A&M does have the option to receive the second half kickoff, and they lead this one. At the half, our score is Texas A&M 20 and Iowa State 7. The studio will catch you up on everything at halftime after these messages.
Regenerative brakes capturing energy. Stop-start technology.